What you doing? I'm your Otakutainment DAC stories with this Otakutainment reviews. If you don't know why I'm laughing, sorry. But this is the review for Weekly Shonen Jump, issue 8 of 2025. The second issue of 2025, I think, if I am remembering correctly. I'm dumb. I am dumb. But surprisingly, this is not that dumb of a week for most of the Weekly Shonen Jump series. But yeah, what to get into? It's been weird. They had their two double issues back to back, and it's thrown off the whole weekly aspect of this. So this is number 8, second of the year, blah blah blah. I'm getting into it, and I feel like I've been out of it. But yeah, I'm going to talk about all of the series in this week's, minus the one shot that doesn't get translated for Manga Plus, where I read them. Of course, I'm doing this live, but if you're not here live right this second, you can watch this in the future, which I assume you probably are doing. But I will cover every series. If you hop into the live, which you can also do in the future, I'm going to be doing it every week on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then we can talk about whichever series you want to when you come in, even if I've already talked about it before. But if nobody has a preference on what they want to talk about, I'm just going to start with what was least popular on the English side of Manga Plus. So I guess I can just jump right into it, starting with Me and Roboco. Oh, chapter 217, Tomei and Hana. This one was kind of sweet. This one actually wasn't that funny. It was more endearing than funny. There was a couple jokes or gags or whatever you want to call them, but nothing, not like back to back to back to back like it usually is. But in this, Roboco often visits the old person Tomei and old robot Hana. The three plan to see the cherry blossoms before Tomei has to go to the old people home. But then Hana breaks down, and it's all sad. They still go. I think they even take the broken down Hana just to say they did. But then they go try to get Hana fixed, or debate getting a new one, a new order made or whatever. And ends up, all they end up doing is Hana's memories and data, whatever you want to call them, saved and put into a new order made. Anyways, kind of looks like Hana, but even more humanoid, I guess. But that was it. Not really a lot of jokes in it. Kind of more just heartwarming than anything. Caught me off guard. Way to start this issue, I guess. But yeah, that's all there is to it. It was no big jokes to really point out. Just a nice little moment. Also, so now on to the other gag manga, which I feel like, let me think how gag feel it actually was. Yeah, kind of. This one leans more towards horror-esque than anything. But yeah, super psychic policeman Chojo 46, the cursed senior police officer. So Lily brought a stuffed rabbit to the station, and when Chojo's left to do night shift, the rabbit starts haunting Chojo, I guess you can say. And at times it feels less haunting and more just bullying. It kind of just, I guess it's a possessed rabbit, but a lot of times it just feels like almost like another little robot, or this rabbit really has its own thug personality. But yeah, Ippongi doesn't believe Chojo, so Chojo's just left having him bring it offerings, just mainly snacks. But eventually it grows in power, tries to possess Ippongi, who instinctually just keeps throwing the ghost around until it's exorcised, I guess. I don't think it's for sure stated it's gone. I think it's kind of just hiding in the rabbit, being a good spirit ghost thing. Yeah, that's it. Funnier than Me and Roboco, for sure. Kind of horror-y. I mean, it is kind of a creepy thing to think about. So much so that even Chojo couldn't use psychic powers to do anything about it. That's how bad it got. So, there was a little something to it, I guess. Moving right along to Hakutaku Chapter 16, Farther Beyond. This one, okay, look. I know I keep saying it. I feel like it's pretty obvious that it's ending. But this chapter was decently interesting, just how they did the perspectives for everyone. But let's just start with overall, everyone is impressed that these kids could make a game like this. We also realize there's a lot of work that needs to go into it to potentially be finished, or the fact that it could never even be finished in the first place if you wanted it to be worldwide. They are not able to take the game because of this, because most of the other games are already like they're finished games that can already be ready to shipped out and sold to people, because that's what everything's about, is just making money. But yeah, everyone's impressed. It's just you can't do anything with a game of this scale that would need to scan everything in the world, and then with things always being updated and new things coming up, it's just a lot to do. I guess overall the profitability is gone. Also, there's something where they said, oh, there's just too much stuff in here, or like too much extra stuff, which I disagree with that. I'm the type of that's more the merrier, but I don't know. And yeah, I mean, at that point, a lot of stuff probably wouldn't get used, but oh, well, it's like how people complain there's too many Pokemon. Shut the fuck up. It's a collecting game. People forget it was originally more collecting than it was battling on it. That's a whole different series. But yeah, now from here though, where does it go? If it's going to end in what, 2-3 more chapters potentially? I don't know. I think it'll just move. They'll come together, go over what they learned, and then move towards like a fast pace and them succeeding probably kind of thing for the final chapter, or maybe them just having the aha moment in the end of the chapter. I don't know. I don't know. We'll just have to see. It's a few more chapters, a few more weeks, so we'll see it when it gets there. Now onto my still least favorite. This one was, I guess, okay. It's at least cool art and action, I guess, even though I don't care that much about action. It is Noise Exorcist Chapter 82. That is hard to read. Tendrils and Arms. Oh, yeah. Exorcist Bureau Elimination Squad. Vice Captain of the 5th Branch, Yoshichi Kabane. I don't know. I have my own notes to read from. Not much is going on in this. Just fighting, really. Just Look, I like when there's a back and forth. I don't like super OP characters. I don't want characters to just be beat up and then have last moment I'm going to beat you. I hate that so much. I like when there's an equal back and forth. And I feel like this is going to be the Gakuro is just easily getting beat up by Kabane, and at some last moment thing, Gakuru's probably going to be like, and miracle happens, I win, kind of thing. I just don't care about the series. Anyways, Kabane, I don't know, the fighting is kind of cool, I guess, on Kabane's part. Uses like a scorpion tail, jellyfish, Shikigami, some kind of sky arms. It's just a weird chimera effect of different things, I guess. Yeah, that was it. It's just Gakuro getting beat up. Not much else to it. So let's move on. Ignore that. I don't know. I didn't ignore it. I talked about it. Let's just move on. Watch 186. Do me a big favor. Wow. Yeah. Hey, this is like the gag manga of this issue, because I mean that's pretty much what most of it is. After finally coming out of that long flashback, it's very serious. I guess you needed something a little more lighthearted, or just something funnier. I don't know. But Momochi, pictured very big, Eats some enchanted food that turns him into a giant, like you can see. So what's up? Everyone goes from being like pretty considerate, wanting to, be as comforting as possible, to immediately kind of being pervy. Not the characters themselves, but definitely the creator just wants to make it pervy. But that's manga, and they are trying to be also opportunistic. One of them even asked to use what be a lap pillow, pretty much a lap bed at this point. And like I get it. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I am. And then when climbing onto that lap bed, falls asleep before even laying down. I get it. And then there's a lot of just comparing Momochi to like an animal trapped in a cage, which not really appreciated. But besides that, there's some eating, then they kind of go to sleep. Momochi's so big, can't even lay through the whole rooms completely comfortably. But then, next morning, it's over. Until Momochi eats something that turns him small now. And, of course, we don't see that. That's the joke. Joke's over. Got him. That's what's up. Anyways, yeah, that's it. This was the gag manga of the issue for, everyone's sake. You need a little bit of something, I guess. So, what next? Let's continue on before I just keep getting it. That's for Royale. Chapter 37, Fireball. This one, just more fighting. That's it. A lot of fighting in this one. Hibaru and Hachiku fight begins with some of Hachiku's powers being shown off. Like, kind of. I don't think there was a real explanation of it. But tries to show it off, but none of it really, matters to Hibaru. Just, bears with it. I wouldn't say shrugs it off, but takes it pretty easily. And we also find out Hachiku is the older sibling of the person that kidnapped Hiyohiko's sibling. Apparently their whole gang, clan, whatever, profits from human trafficking, which I can't imagine going over well with Hibaru. And, of course, Hibaru's probably going to win, but we'll have to see that in the next chapter. It would have been fine. I know I'm usually like, oh, end stuff too soon, but I think it would have been fine for this first fight to just already be over. Really get that shock wow factor. No, because a lot of people were kind of putting Hibaru down, but not like a whole lot. So some people had some faith, so it's okay. Let's just go on to The Elusive Samurai, chapter 187, intermission. 1339 to 1342. That's a weird way to say that. 1339 to 1342. There's a lot that goes on in here. I'm just going to hit the main points because it's just a transition chapter, really. And I don't know what's going to be important and what's not. And just, it's kind of, to me, because I don't get that into this series. It just seems like here's an info dump, a historical info dump, and it's like, okay, here's people I'm bad with names already. Cool. Sure. But anyways, Emperor Go Daigo is dead. Takeuchi being overly dramatic about mourning the death, even though anyone else is saying it's pretty much Takeuchi's fault. Takeuchi's even like, oh, who would do this? And it's like 3 words. You did it. And I'm like, okay, cool. That was one part. Other part of Takeuchi, stepping into higher roles, blah, blah, blah. Other people using this opportunity, stuff like that. Now we get to, I guess, the more interesting part of Toki. What happened with Toki. Which, all this just goes, it just flies by. And it's like, here's this big moment. Toki seemed like a big thing. But no. Toki attacked, soon killed the retired Emperor Kogon. But eventually there's a retaliation. People come and they finally execute Toki. yeah, that's that over, I guess, unless for some reason it didn't actually happen. I don't know. So yeah, now there's this rift with the Ashikaga, and while all this has happened, we get a very brief cut to Tokiyuki, who is apparently just off womanizing. That's it. That's me making an assumption because we don't really know what happened because it doesn't show that much. So we have to wait for, I guess, the story to actually resume next week. But yeah, let's move on to some Kill Blue. Huh. This one, another just humorous chapter, I guess. We have them, especially in Kill Blue. But Ogami and Ryo go to a bookstore, but change course when they see Tenma and Chisato. They stalk them for a while, somewhat stealthily, until they're caught, of course, and then Ryo and Tenma play catch. For some reason, I think it was for Chisato, but doesn't really care. They're just watching. I mean, there's a point Tenma even like throws a wild pitch and it almost hits Chisato, but Ogami catches it, which I guess technically means Tenma loses. I don't think so. They never declare a winner or loser. They just kind of stop, but then they start again and Ogami goes and plays. That's pretty much it for the chapter. I didn't dislike it, but now that I'm talking about some of these chapters, I'm like, oh yeah, there wasn't really that much going on. Because I felt like for a lot of these, and they're probably the better chapters, so I'll be getting to them soon, or just haven't got to them yet. I felt like the last issue left off with like cliffhangers and like, oh wow, that happened. I just think I'm not there yet, but I am now because Sid Craft, Love is a Mystery, Case 8, The Scales of Love and Her Resolve. This one was okay. However, it kind of left with the last chapter obviously hinting at who the other culprit is, but it didn't say it outright. It's just like, oh, that's who it probably. The first page, it just tells you right away. Now, this was the second culprit, someone named Kate, the person that tricked Elio into being a singer. Yeah, it's like, okay, well, no, there's no mystery. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this a little outer just because there's, obviously two sides of what's happening. So with the Elio and Kate thing, Kate knocks out Elio, chloroform. Not how it's supposed to be used in chloroform, but that's what it is in media or fiction, stuff like that. And ties Elio up, but then eventually lets Elio go. There's like some heartfelt moment, some more misunderstandings. I guess that's Elio's whole character is either Elio having misunderstandings or others having misunderstandings. But yeah, Elio's let go, and Kate tries to jump off the ship with the bomb because it's like locked onto him, like on the back, I think, something like that, and needs a key. But while that's happening, no one's believing Sid and Soulful that there's a bomb and everyone needs to evacuate. So they toss up the bomb, shoot the bomb explodes, everyone's and then while I guess now a panic is happening, Sid sees Lulu. For whatever reason, Lulu's on board investigating the investigator, I guess, trying to find Sid's weaknesses. I don't know, but while Lulu was sneaking on board, saw Elio, so Lulu, I guess, mentions that to Sid, there's also a handkerchief chief, and everything comes together. So remember how Kate tried to jump off the boat? Elio tried to save Kate. It goes bad. Then Lulu and Sid show up. Lulu picks the lock on the bomb. Bomb falls and blows up last second, because that's always how it is. Everyone's safe. That's it. It's just, I get it. Okay, we have a main cast of characters. They're the ones who's going to be popping up a lot now. But why? Like, just randomly Lulu just being there, I guess. Nothing special. Weird that you gave away who who the other culprit was on the first page. We didn't like completely say who it was in the last issue. If it was like last page confirmed it, not just heavily hint at it. But I don't know. That's it. Oh, okay. Now this is the big one. This is another big one that last issue just left me like literally what the fuck. I couldn't believe it. And it really just, as it went on, I couldn't believe it even more. Akane-banashi, story 142, new path indeed. Because damn, there's not a lot that happens in this chapter, but the story just took a turn so sharply. It's all told from Kashio's point of view, pretty much. The reporter, if you don't know. But apparently Akane canceled the Futatsume debut, disappeared for the stage, and it's been 3 years. For some reason, Kashio's kind of writing an article or something about this. I don't know. We don't know exactly why someone would be writing about that now on a way to Paris. It seems like it was probably completely unrelated. We don't know exactly why. Is there with another like assistant editor or something for a Ragoku magazine or whatever. But then Kashio happens to see like a sign on some theater with Akane's name on it and performing, and even though it's pretty much in the performance, is able to go in and we get to see and confirm it is Akane. But we don't know anything else besides that. It just ends there. And it was like, okay, cool, confirmed, but why? Why all this? And of course you can like speculate. Akane just traveling the world trying to get a whole brand new understanding and unique take of what Rakugo could be. But 3 years of what? And why not go ahead and debut as a Futatsume? I don't know. It's a weird thing. 3 years. 3 years is a long time. It's also, it flies by, but it's also a long time. What was happening during this? Because we got to see the other two that was along with Akane. I'd forget their names. The other two rivals. They finally also became Futatsume. But Akane's just going on at it. Is this going to be like a Naruto situation where Naruto just stayed a Genin for the whole time and up until Okage? Akane's just going to stay Zenza forever until eventually getting Shiguma's art down? I don't know. It's interesting though to see where it's going to go. I wish we got at least some more answers in this chapter. It was like a cool reveal that we already knew was there, but I just wanted more. That was. Anyways, let's move on. Ultimate Exorcist, chapter 28, The Prince on a White Horse at the Gates of Hell. I did not realize that was a chapter name, because that tells exactly what this chapter is about, but you would have no idea until you read the chapter. Interesting indeed. Okay, so yeah, the Gates of Hell is busy. Sakake and Harai aren't there. Everyone's trying their best, but it's getting busy. More people are coming in. But then, just when things seem to be a little too overwhelming, Harai does pop back up, helps everything. Everything's good. I don't remember how well Harai did at this job, especially on the cooking side. But either way, really good at it now. Don't know how you learned that. I don't remember that being part of Sakake's training, but either way, it all works out. And then, day's finally over, they're closed, but one more customer has to try to come in. Someone named Kyoka Kurogane, apparently a commander of the Sanguis. But yeah, shows up, orders like a omelet rice thing, and is mainly looking for a prince on a white horse. The name of the chapter. I don't know how I didn't realize that when I was reading it. I don't really read the chapters names. Like, I should probably be doing that. Like, I just don't think about it. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. Came here pretty much just looking and kind of testing Harai. Like, somehow knocks out everyone. Don't really see it. Maybe just power, the hockey. Who knows? But Harai's able to withstand it and even like get in a more offensive, advantageous position. And really, I mean, Kyoka's just head over heels from, I don't know, something like that. But I think it does mention has some business with Sakaki or was sent there, something like that. But while I guess this is going on, Sakaki got a fortune about the next battle, but doesn't want to hear it if it's bad. And, well, we don't hear it, so I guess we have to assume it's bad. I don't know, it's a decent manga. I know I kind of get a little burnout on Exorcist type manga. This one's nothing special. It has an OP character, so I'm not crazy about that, but it's still like decent to read and enjoying it a lot better than Noah's Exorcist. I'm more interested in Sakaki than anyone else, so I guess we'll just have to see what that fortune means or amounts to in the future. But let's move on to Shinobi Undercover, Chapter 17, The Day the Bone Broke. Oh, that's such a fucking clever title. Now that I read the chapter and now that I'm reading the title. Oh, this references just the end of the chapter. Okay, let's talk about this. One, before I even talk about this, I don't know if this manga is actually in here or not. I kept saying it, and it still could. It could have a couple chapters to wind down. It could end, maybe not next week, the week after. It kind of has that setup, like something could happen. Feel really rushed no matter what it is, though. So I don't know what it could be, but anyways. And actually, this point kind of goes towards it being rushed to an ending. But Toby retreats, just like knows this is gonna go the way anyone wants. So everything's fine, but now there's concern for our safety. Like, what if even Yodaka can't handle everyone? Then more ninja would just be put in for protection, and Aoi's freedom would kind of get taken away a little bit just to keep Aoi safe. I don't know why Aoi's so important, like to this level. I think that's kind of forgotten, or at least I forgot it. But these ninjas are trying to protect, some are trying to take or kill, whatever. I don't get it. But yeah, things are just going to get bad, I guess. 2 chapters, is that enough? I don't know. It might last another round then. But yeah, so after all this, Aoi even mentions at some point people keep disappearing or getting hurt, I don't know, leaving. And then, of course, that can be assumed it's because there were other ninjas that got killed trying to protect Aoi. But also, wasn't Aoi's driver also someone impressive? Huh, I forget. I don't know if that person will pop back up anymore. But yeah, so after that, all this is over. They return from the trip. And then Yodaka is like, I need to go to a hospital because my chest hurts. I think I broke a rib. And then it goes back and forth and it's like, oh no, you're alive. And it's like, my heart and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, but then there's also stabbing pain or like something. And it's like, oh, you broke a rib. Or you're in love. Or both. So that's why I said the title's actually really clever. The Day the Bone Broke. Because bone, the rib, but also heart. What is it? Okay, I like the title more than anything, I guess. Now, let's go on to, honestly, another one I don't want to say I want it to be over, but it's just so lackluster, and it's only going because of the type of story it is, a kind of pervy rom-com, especially with Kana. It's Hema 10, number 26, Homemade Kana. I don't know. I don't know where this story's supposed to be going. I don't know what the point of it is. I mean, besides just being pervy. And it's another Kana chapter. So, yeah, not much happens. Iomori goes to Kana's place just to catch a cockroach, gets it, fine. Kana rewards Iomori by dressing as a maid and then making omelet rice. Also, second series with that this week. That's it. That's all that happens. It's just to get Kana to be pervy, this child, when I keep saying the whole story would have been a lot better if they were at least in university, at least adults of some kind. Still the weird part of manga, but I guess I overlooked that. Just push for older characters. It's okay to do that. I mean, what's going on right now? That's I'm trying to think. There's older university, but so when you have stories like this, you don't have to. Yeah, I don't know. But then I guess it's like, yeah, this okay. I get it. Shonen Jump is for younger audiences, but come on. Anyways, that's it. There's not really anything to talk about in this, because that's all it is. Catch a cockroach, get rewarded with a model dressing as a pervy maid. I don't know, maybe not maid, pervy, but yeah, maid, whatever. Can you tell the disappointment? Yeah. Anyways, now, this is the big one. Oh, yeah, it's finally over. Mission Yozakura family, the final mission. The Yozakura family's mission continues on. And the mission in this one is trying to prevent bratty kids from sneaking treats into a shopping basket. Yeah, kind of a weird last chapter. I get why they do it. The second half of it. I don't get the first half of this chapter or what the point was. Besides just you wanted another chapter. Anyways. So yeah, the kids, Ifumi and Alpha, keep trying to sneak junk food into a shopping basket. Yeah, they're just shopping in this chapter, for the first half at least. Taiyo keeps stopping them. And yeah, the whole interaction's humorous. So it's another funny part. Weird that the gag manga this week aren't the funny ones. And it's just these other ones. But are at least humorous. Yeah, then Koichiro is bribed by the kids to help, but then other people just pop up to help stop Koichiro. So it's just so random, and it's like, okay, cool. That was the first half of it. The second half is pretty much just everyone's at a dinner table, and it's revealed Masumi is pregnant. With another kid. And then the most clever part of this is Hifumi and Alpha are worried that they're going to become like Kyoichiro, but they are assured that's just a special trait of Kyoichiro, not something genetic. I guess we hope, but that's it. The series is over. I didn't really keep up with it, honestly. I couldn't go back and really tell you anything about it. But I kind of jumped in towards the end. I don't see much going on with this. I don't really see many people talking about it, so I don't really see much to talk about either. But it lasted a while. 258 chapters. That's, about 5 years. So, yeah, good series. I bet maybe one day I'll go back and read it. Or anime. I don't know. Something like that. But, yeah. I don't have much else to say. It was a very last chapter kind of thing. So, let's just move on. Go to Undead Unluck. Number 238. 0101. Whatever. But, this one's winding down too. I'm assuming next chapter is the last. I don't really know what it's going to be. Probably just another here's what we're doing now kind of chapter. But in this chapter at least, all of them now, they have the power to shape the world, and all they're trying to do really is to come up. They decide the world's pretty much good or fine how it is, but they do want to replace the rule of autumn with something. They choose revolution, mainly because their world was a spiral in towards the sun. They want to just spin like perfectly. around the sun so that all places can have all 4 seasons at some point. That way you replace autumn. Oh man, still have seasons. And then, okay, Union's broken up. Everyone goes their own way. And then Andy and Fuuka go to find Soul to get Fuuka's memories back. And that's pretty much it. Okay, there's kind of a little touching moment. Soul's on a bridge. Looks like about to jump. Soul seems reluctant, but I guess does help because we see Fuuka seems to have memories back. And then Soul goes to someone else. They talk a moment, blah blah blah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And now we'll see what they're going to do now that the memories are back. Very briefly. They were gone very briefly. But yeah, I guess this series is also going in next week. And that's fine. I also didn't keep up with this one that much. I don't remember if I said which ones I have and have not kept up with. But yeah, there's a few. And this one's it. Because I knew they were about to end. But I still want to talk about them because that's just the nature of this. So, let's keep moving on. Which one did I do? I guess I'll do Blue Box next. Blue Box. Not much happens in it, honestly. I say that about a lot. And yeah, and I'm going to say it probably every week about something. But we open it. Well, it opens with like a little montage of people just living life, kids. And I have no scope of how the series actually going. It feels like it's getting close. Not close, but like it feels like final arcy type of deal. But also, I don't keep up with this one that much either. But yeah, okay. So Sideshow is in the lead, 40 to 32, or was it 34? The numbers keep changing? Maybe. They kept playing. But yeah, and now Yumika is going to take a little break until crunch time, until needed again. But yeah, then for the rest of it, it's pretty much just Jinatsu reflects on the journey of starting basketball, motivations behind that, and then just playing with against Yumika. And that's it. It's kind of nice, kind of touching. Still trying to win the game, though. I don't know. It's one of my things with sports anime and manga, but it's just I get flashbacks are needed and like these moments to like really connect and resonate with characters. But it also takes it out of the sportsy action, which I normally don't care about action, but it just when it goes back and forth like that, it's distracting. So that's one reason I just can't get into it or care that much. So yeah, that was Blue Box. Did I even say 180 rewards? I don't know, maybe. But now, we finally get to the best. That literal goat. This one was such a good one. And I know I literally just said the action I don't care as much about, but holy shit. Ichi the Witch, 18th up. Discards the Abyssal Witch. I'm going to say it just from this chapter alone. Discards may be one of the coolest characters in anything ever. Holy shit, this was such a cool moment. And just so it's cold, but it's also like sassy and just badass. Okay, and like not much happens. It's just a lot of just Discards putting this magic in its place, just really treating it like it's nothing. And like I said, there's not a lot that. Alright, the only reason this Discards could not get Aurora was because of the condition that it has to be a male witch. But now, there's no reason Discards shouldn't be able to get this one. We didn't really get to see like Discards go all out against. Well, I guess we could see Discards go all out against Aurora, but it didn't matter. But we never really got to see it again. Even then, I guess it wasn't all out because Aurora, I guess, wasn't that strong. But now, this time, I feel like we still aren't seeing Discards go all out, and it's just mopping the floor with this world eater, magic human hater, just who would seem like the strongest ultimate magic, and doesn't seem to face as far as I am getting like almost giddy just thinking about this chapter. You gotta read it. I don't know. I'm assuming if you're listening to this, you already read it, but it's so worth it. It's so good. It's just so cool. Like I said, there's action, but it's just Discardus as a character is just so good to read and witness. Okay. Before I fan out anymore, but yeah, like there's not much else to say. It's just Discardus being badass. Yeah, I appreciate it. I like it. Yeah, I feel like, is this a manga crush? No. Let's go on. Kagurabachi. 64 become the samurai. Okay. So try and calm down. Chihiro is fighting without Enten, the sorcery from these swords, just using a normal sword. And then Hirohiko, the bad person. I don't know if the name was revealed in previous chapters or not. I suck at names, so I wouldn't know anyways. But yeah, Hirohiko wants to fight just good swordsmanship. That's pretty much the whole thing. But it's also conflicted with needing to do the job. So that eventually like fries Hirohiko's brain by the end of it. Yeah. Really, this chapter was just to point out that Chihiro is wanting to just get stronger, rely less on sorcery and more on just swordsmanship and being good at a sword. And also not relying on others as much either, which I feel like that was one of the problems with Chihiro, is Chihiro was trying to lone wolf it too much, but then has a revelation actually was relying on others, which yeah, you were, but I don't think your mentality of how you're going about this is completely sorted out. Right? But yeah, that's mainly it. I guess we'll get to the real big action-y dramatic part next time. So let's go on to Sakamoto Days. Decent chapter. Still in that flashback. This is Days 197, Seatbelt. Sorry for the pause. I'm thinking about why it's called Seatbelt. Another thing that just pops up at the end and isn't ever pointed out, and I don't. Was this just randomly picked just cause? Like, no real reason. It's just like, we need a word or something to be the title. There's a seatbelt at some point. Use a seatbelt. There we go. Unless there's some deeper meaning, I just don't know it. But all it is Sheen follows someone onto a ship that is connected to Ando, Sheen's parent. While Sakamoto chases, but Sheen is somehow along the way yelling at people. We only see it with one person, but we can assume kept doing it again. Just yelling at people like, hey, this person behind me wants blah, 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 or is hungry, wants a massage, blah, blah, blah. So people are like chasing after Sakamoto to take advantage of him. I don't know. Be nice? Whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Sheen gets on the ship, actually witnesses Ando shoot someone. Sheen's surprised by this. I don't know who Sheen thought this was, who Ando actually was, or what kind of person Ando is supposed to be. But then it's thrown off the ship. Hey, better than getting shot, I guess. But then Sakamoto ramps in a car. I don't remember how he got a car. Flies through the air, catches Sheen, buckles Sheen up with a seatbelt, and then crashes into the side of the ship. And then they're safe, I guess. But then we see like a thought bubble of Sakamoto. It's just like, it's like, I just needed someone in the passenger seat to help even out the weight. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Didn't matter that much. But the seatbelt. Always wear your seatbelt, I guess. I don't care that much. Do what you want. Let's move on to the final series for this week. One Piece, chapter 1136, The Land That Awaits the Sun. I don't know what exactly the title would mean. The land that awaits the sun. Okay, I guess it's just Elbaf in general because they're talking about the sun god Nika. Um, so yeah, everyone's celebrating getting to know the Straw Hats more, at least some of them, as well as learning about Nika and potentially Luffy maybe being something about that. Luffy just seems to be brushing it off. So, yeah, that's fine. That's not me. That whatever. And it might not be Luffy. That would be a big twist. Like, it's not Luffy. Luffy just has the same kind of traits and stuff like that. Not actually the sun god, just really strong and just eerily similar. Sure. They also learn about Loki's past and how bad Loki is. Even before being born, it was pretty much predicted or prophesized Loki was gonna be bad, and people started dying, killed the past king, like the best king in their history. But I'm really just starting to think because we saw Luffy go and talk. There's the point of Luffy even ask if Loki's actually bad, and of course everyone says yes. But what if it's just it's an Absol moment, right? Like, Loki's not the one actually doing these things, but it's like the things follow Loki. There's bad luck or bad things happen. Loki's just there, or maybe Loki's taking the blame of it, or it's just other things are going on and it starts getting put onto Loki. We don't know. I don't know. It's just all of it so suspicious, and maybe Loki is bad. Who knows? But yeah. So Zoro, Luffy, and Nami with Nami's new servant Roto, the one who kidnapped him when they first got to the island, are going to go visit Loki. Well, while all this is happening, Loki is confronted by the Holy Knight Gunko, and then Shanks, if that's who it actually is. We didn't get a name card or anything like that. We only get to see little peeks of the face, so we don't know who it is. But they're pretty much, yeah, trying to make a deal with Loki. I didn't even really understand what their deal is. Maybe it's supposed to kind of be cryptic. Threatens a wolf, and Loki's like, yeah, that'll suck if you do that. I'm sure might be sad, will be mad, but if you do this, I'm still going to refuse, and I'll just use this as a way to get angry and motivate myself for revenge. And then that's the end of the chapter. Really cool way for a character. You don't see Loki giving in to whatever this is supposed to be. But also Loki is just straight up being like, yeah, you do this, I'm going to be angry. And you're not going to like it. You're going to regret it. But yeah, that's it. It's another mystery. It makes you really curious of where this is going to go. If this is actually Shanks. If real Shanks is going to come back. If there's going to be other things going on. Got to figure out who's going to be the main bad guy of this. I don't know. I'm just not feeling like it's going to be Loki. But it could be. Or it might start off as Loki and then not be. Who knows? But regardless, of course Loki's going to get out, right? And I guess there's going to be some confusion with Luffy meeting this potential Shanks. That could be a thing that happens. But I'm curious as to what's going to happen in this. Like, how long it's going to last. It's just the way it's going, it doesn't feel like it could be a long arc. Especially with, like, Wano. Wano was so long. Like, Big Mom arc, whole cake isle, whatever it was called, arc, felt pretty long. It might be something like that. Because that one, but Wano was so long. I don't know. One Piece is just going wild. I'm already starting to miss it. It's not even done yet, and might not be done for a long time. Oh, but when you think about the potential of it ending, and like you see this kind of stuff, and things are just feeling like they're just all coming to a climax. I mean, Egghead Island, just there's a lot going on. But that was the last series of this issue. It had some good ones. It had some surprising ones. Hey, I'm just things are wrapping up. It's a weird time for Shonen Jump right now, and I'm here for it. I'll be here every week to talk more about it. So yeah, if you're watching this in the future, join me on Twitch when it works. We can talk live, talk about whichever series you're wanting to talk about, where they would be. I can jump around. I don't care. I just want to talk about stuff with people. So we can do that. But if you're not watching it live, you're watching it like on YouTube, go ahead, leave comments there too. Find me on social media, the AC Stories. Email me, theacstories@gmail.com. Also have a Discord if you want to join that. It's pretty quiet and stuff, but if we talk on there, definitely talk back on if I keep up with that. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for this Otakutainment reviews. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Thank you also to my Ko-fi members, Vic Slab and Julio Vasquez. If you also want to help support me a little bit, you don't have to. I appreciate either way. There always will be more stuff coming to my Ko-fi, especially soon. So you can look into that. A bunch of writing stuff, bloopers, notes. You can find notes for this, just shout outs like I just did. All that stuff. Just check it out, see if you like it. If you want to support me, but like I say, you don't have to. I appreciate either way. But that is it. I've been your Otakutainer, the AC Stories. Until next week, bye.